From here, that red jacket's just a speck and growing larger. No helmet, hair thrown back the way he likes it. He combed it before he left. Doesn't matter now. It's all bespeckled with dust and grainy like sea salt. First thing he ever told me was that he didn't feel too grateful for the things he had, because he reckoned he always had enough of them. I'm the king, he said. It means I don't see a thing I can't make my own. I figure life looked awful pretty from inside that nutshell of his. Truth is, he liked living in the darkness because it meant he could paint its walls with whatever grandeur he fancied. I'm the king, he told me. King of nothing, seems to me. Seems to me the worst sort of dream is the kind where you can't see a thing for what it is. The motor he's got on that piece rings coarse in the air, drawn out like a rugged row of sandpaper across something new and clean. I'll know his smile for 100 years. He's all Memphis mystique. He's a landlocked soul that speaks in woozy guitar chords, that talks up a storm but doesn't know the first thing about being lonely or being scared. If only he could see the ocean, he'd cry for all that empty space. He'd cry if only he knew he didn't know a thing. But you had to like the guy for his abandon. You had to like the guy because he thought he owned this town, but really, no one cared one way or the other. No one cared about his songs, but when he sang it sounded like an old tired hymn, practiced and perfect. Overhead guidance, he told me. I've got overhead guidance. And then he looked up to the sky. Of course, by the time he got back to Earth, being so big, he was the king when it came down to it. I had a hard time thinking of him as anything at all but hot air. When he opens his mouth, all I hear is the wind and the trees. All I hear is the sound at night when your window pane needs fixing. And now that spotlight's killed the glow in his eyes. All that walking's left him thin. There still ain't a thing he doesn't think he'll own one day, but I reckon it's a sad existence being privy to all the mysteries of this world. He's the king of infinite space, but that can't rescue him from his bad dreams. So I ask him what's in a boot that's not in a man. He's a little drunk and thinks on it for a minute. Boot's just some rawhide and a soul, he says, not so different from a man. He stands up and the shadow he casts is so much taller than himself. He said, I reckon if one holds order, then it's the same with the other. But if one lets light through, then we're both bound to sink. He's a cracked nail beneath the quick. He's flamed out. Regicide. He was embarrassed regicide. Death to the king, he told me. Death to false kings. Death to the king.